As indicated earlier in this document, there are several ways to do the same thing in P6. To open a project: 1. File, Open. 2. Ctrl+O. 3. Clicking the Open Project icon. 4. Right-click on a project in the project's view and select Open Project. Options 1 to 3 will open a separate Open Project window showing the projects available in the EPS. Option 4 will select from projects already displayed. With all options, it is possible to open multiple projects at once by holding down Ctrl while selecting projects with the left mouse click. Keeping hold of Ctrl, we then right-click and select Open Project, or click Open button for options 1 to 3. It is important to note that selecting an EPS and clicking Open will open all projects under that EPS. Also note here that if the user wants to open multiple projects via options 1 to 3, by holding the Ctrl key down whilst selected the desired projects, they will need to ensure that the root level EPS is not selected along with the other projects. When the Open Project window is first opened, the root level EPS is selected by default. Therefore, the user must click the first project prior to holding down the Ctrl key, otherwise all the projects in the database will be opened, which could take considerable time and/or crash P6. Consider the scenario where you have a project already open. If the user wants to open an additional project, or projects, they will need to select the already open project in the process above. If not, P6 will close any open projects prior to open the selected projects. Closing a project can also be done several ways. 1. File, Close Project. 2. Ctrl+W. 3. Click on the Close Project icon. In P6 we can open select projects, however when closing a project, P6 will close all open projects. P6 will ask if you want to close the project. Click Yes to close or No to cancel the process. For example, if the user has 10 projects opens and wants to close one of those projects, the user will need to close all 10 projects and then reopen the 9 desired projects. A new project can be created by any of the following. This process will essentially create a blank canvas to add new data. 1. File, New Project. 2. Ctrl+N. 3. Click on the New Project icon. The EPS window will appear in which the default selection is the top, root, level. Click the drop-down next to the name to change to the appropriate EPS. Click Next to create the project ID and project name. Click Next. The project plan start date and a must finish by date can then be added. The default for the start date is the date of project creation and the default finish is blank. It's important to note that this doesn't create start/finish milestones, it will simply give high-level pin dates or bookends. The must finish by date is important, however, as it will give the scheduler a way to determine total float in the project, see total float. It will also create a hidden constraint to the end date which may or may not be useful for the user. The manager responsible is then to be selected based on the OBS structure created earlier. The default is to display the current EPS options, which would also indicate to the user if the correct EPS was selected originally. To display all OBS elements, click on the drop-down button, click Display and all options will drop down, select Filter by and change the selection to all OBS elements. This will show the complete hierarchical OBS listing. Finally, the rate type is selected, which defaults to price, unit. Click Next, then Finish to complete the basic setup of the project. Well done! At this point we have created a database, OBS, EPS, and a new project. Now we need to know a little bit more about the project in order to move forward in setting up a meaningful project in P6. A project brief or summary is a good place to start. The information in the project brief should be enough to create the work breakdown structure, WBS.